Alright, lads. Shirley Finkel, the co-manager, I should say, of former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. He's back in the news again. He's talking about the Fury Wilder trilogy fight. Going to quote him directly. This is from Twitter. This is an interview he gave with SNI Now. Alright. Deontay Wilder, his co-manager Shirley Finkel, has now declared they are planning to take Tyson Fury to... They're planning to take this case to an arbitrary hearing, essentially. Right? They've been in mediation, but Fury told mediators he will never fight Deontay Wilder again. Shirley Finkel looking to go through every avenue in order to get this trilogy fight made. Not to get Fury versus AJ. He wants his guy Deontay Wilder to get his trilogy fight, so he is looking to drag this through the courts. Right? Now, I was on Boxing Social the other night, and I watched an interview with Kevin Barry, and he was insinuating that, or alluding to the fact that Deontay Wilder and Shirley Finkel are no longer working together. Right? We're also hearing reports that there is plans. In fact, actually, I believe I seen it on Twitter. I'll just see if I can find... it says it here. Actually, Shirley Finkel's even said that they're looking at potentially doing Deontay Wilder versus Charles Martin. He's one of several names in contention to fight Deontay Wilder if they don't get the Fury trilogy fight. I would say it's likely that they won't at this stage. Deontay Wilder, right? He got comprehensively beaten by Tyson Fury. We make no mistake about it. Whatever people say about Glovegate, about the suit, about Mark Breland, about I've done videos on it, I've spoke about it. It's just so ridiculous. I'm sick of speaking of it. I don't want to speak on it. It's just ridiculous, right? Whatever you want to say about the rematch, right? He was soundly beaten by Tyson Fury. Destroyed. Wasn't competitive. Okay? Now, Deontay Wilder, after that, he was like one of those guys, right? Classic example, right? I've seen this. I've seen guys like Deontay Wilder, not as abrasive as Deontay Wilder, but I've seen it's the classic kind of mentality, right? When there's someone that they want to impress, or if there's someone there they're loud in front of, they'll be as loud as anything, right? But you take that person away, or you bruise their ego, and they're as quiet as a mouse. I'll tell you this story, right? Story time with your boy. I remember a while back, there was a guy, and he was constantly trying to impress this girl, right? And it wasn't me, obviously, because I'm not like that. But I used to watch. I just found it intriguing. I just found it intriguing from a psychology point of view. And he was constantly like giving it this. Whenever she was there, always giving it this. Someone could say something, he was the first one to jump and react, right? She left, right? She was just like, I'm gone. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going. I think she moved somewhere. I forget. But basically, the minute she left, his whole demeanour changed. And the things he was doing before, the loudness, the abrasiveness, it all stopped. To the point where people were actually coming into me like, why are you so quiet? I'm like, because he's no reason to, obviously. It's something similar with Deontay Wilder. After that, after his ego got hurt and he lost that fight, he just went into the wilderness, right? He just stayed quiet. He went in the wilderness. That contract, he just let that contract run out. And it's only when, it was really only when we started hearing Tyson Fury talk about fighting Ajay Kabayel and then potentially fighting AJ next year, is when we start hearing Deontay Wilder come out of the woodwork and be like, oh no, hang on a minute, I'm still here. Look, Deontay Wilder, in my humble opinion, and it is just my opinion, right? I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong before, but I think he'd sooner fight Charles Martin and get some comeback wins under his resume or under his belt than he would take this trilogy fight. I believe that Jay Deas and Shirley Finkel, Wilder's two managers, they want this fight, right? Shirley Finkel, he knows that if he put Deontay Wilder in there with Charles Martin, he wouldn't make any kind of money. And because Deontay Wilder, after the first Fury fight, insisted, on having these big, because he's seeing exactly the kind of money he can make, they took hits on those shows. They took hits on Luis Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder rematch. They took hits on Brazil versus Wilder. They take a hit if they put Deontay Wilder versus Charles Martin on, and they had to pay Deontay Wilder something like what he wanted. Alright, so he knows that the biggest payday for Wilder, even still, is the Tyson Fury trilogy. So he's looking at Wilder and thinking, hey, you're 35 years old, you're coming off the back of a loss. What am I going to do with you? I'm going to make more money putting you in there with Tyson Fury than I will having you fight 3 fights and, you know, making, you know, X amount of money, and I'll take a hit on these shows. They're looking to cash this guy out. JD's, who the hell does JD's have? He's got nobody, right? So he's going to look to cash Deontay Wilder out. Both of them are, and I think they're trying every avenue in order to get this trilogy fight over the line. I don't know. I think at this stage we'll wait. I can't see this trilogy. I hope it doesn't, right? Because it's not because I hate Deontay Wilder, and I don't know. I love watching Deontay Wilder fight. Do I have a lot of time for Shelly Finkel? No, not particularly. But the reason, I've seen this fight twice. I've seen it twice. I'm pretty sure I know the outcome of the third fight. Okay? Especially considering Deontay Wilder seems to have learned absolutely nothing from it, from the loss. So I'm pretty sure I know the outcome. Whereas AJ Fury, it's intriguing. It's a more intriguing fight. I think Tyson Fury will win, but I'm not 100% convinced. I would pick him, but I want to see AJ Fury. It's a big fight. Could potentially be for undisputed. That's the fight I want to see, and I really don't want to have any roadblocks in the way. So, you know, that's my thought on this. Now, let me know in the comment section what you think is going to happen. If Shelly Finkel is just clutching straws, if he's just reaching for the high heavens to keep dragging this through court. Maybe he's hoping that if he drags this through court, it will not necessarily get the Deontay Wilder trilogy fight, but it will prevent the AJ fight. Because he's not promoting either fighter. I mean, what benefit is it to him if AJ Fury happens? You know? I'm sure maybe he could be Shelly Finkel, I'm sure, would be a spiteful character like that, because I've heard stories of him over the years, from even Shannon Briggs, when Shannon Briggs was working with him. So, you know, that's Shelly Finkel. We'll see how this goes. We'll watch this situation unfold. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Lads, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel. Hashtag GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Lads, I'll talk to you. Peace.